Okay, there is an energy of a mental mirage that is creating an internal environment of a think tank for the soul. Okay. Now, lemons could be significant, quicksilver could be significant, fae or mermaids. And the basis of it is what is real versus what is possible. Now, this energy is tied to, with the quicksilver, for quicksilver, for me, it may mean something different for you, but for me, for this energy, it came through as Mercury. And we are in the pre-shadow period of Mercury retrograde right now. So I feel like it is tied to that energy, okay? And then lemon came through and I got mental clarity for that. Again, lemon could mean something different for you. Could just be a sign. You could be using more lemon. You could really like lemon, or maybe you're doing like lemon water, something like that. With the fae and the mermaid magic, that's all about the liminal magic. And the fluidity, the boundary shifting that comes with fae energy and mermaid energy. Now, because there is a trickster energy with this Mercury retrograde in Pisces in the first house, this think tank, this mental mirage is not about taking action on all of the different things that you're seeing, because some of them are going to be illusionary in the way that you won't be able to actualize them. So this is more the energy that I'm getting for this, for whoever this is for. This is more of like a playful, imaginative time, not really a time to put a whole bunch of action or trying to solidify. It's really asking to go within, be playful, be imaginative, explore the different illusionary things that are coming up. If you think about a mirage, it's illusionary. And some of these things you will be able to actualize after this energy moves through. But right now it's not about like trying to actualize it. It's about exploring the possibilities. Exploring, like stepping away from reality, what is real right now in this moment. And purple bears could be significant as well. This just caught my eye. It's asking to get creative within yourself, to explore the possibilities of what could be when it comes to you, okay? When it comes to your sense of self. As this Mercury retrograde in Pisces is in the first house. All right, let's see if we can get, have fun, play. There may be a need to do, and we have Pisces flipping first card. There may be a need to let your inner child or connect with your inner child more during this time. And again, don't try to act on everything that you're seeing. If you're getting excited about an energy or you're really drawn to something that is coming through, get a notebook, jot it down, keep track of it, so that when this energy starts to clear out after the retrograde and after the post shadow period clears, then you will more clearly be able to see what you can actualize out of that, okay? I just got this on Pisces. It says your dreams, but I just got allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to explore the possibilities, to look at the possibilities. And at this point, don't worry about the fine details or the ability to actualize it. Just allow yourself the time to explore, because Mercury doesn't, we are in the pre-shadow period right now, but it doesn't kick fully into retrograde until February 25th or 26th. And then you have the retrograde period, and then you have the shadow period. So that's a good at least month or so before this energy clears out, before you have more of a real clear view on it. All right. The 9th house, that's expansion, long range thinking. These two get together, 9th house and Pisces, with the allow yourself to dream, is giving an expansion of your dreams. Allow your dreams to expand out. Not that you think that everything that you're imagining or exploring right now is going to come to fruition, but allow that vision, allow that visualization of what could be, of the possibilities to expand. Lilith in reverse. So don't, this may be expanding in areas or incorporating areas that were suppressed or not societally acceptable. Suppressed truth that must be owned. Rejected identity. Raw instinct, untamed truth, parts of self that were shamed and exiled. And it's in reverse. So it's, those pieces are probably going to play a role in this. Okay, Source, what else do you have? Bride in a cage in reverse. Yeah, freeing yourself from some kind of, that's 21 or 3. Freeing yourself from some kind of box, whether it's a box that you felt like you had to conform to for society or for friends and family, for loved ones, for significant others, that thing. It's removing those chains, removing that suppression. All right, can I get a planet, please, for this energy? How to use this energy. North Node. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be clearing out. There may be an aspect of self that you are suppressing to allow some kind of conformity that is aligned with South Node, that is aligned with comfort zone, that is aligned with where you used to be, aligned with the past and cycles and lessons that needs to be explored and expanded on. No? Okay. I don't use this deck an awful lot, so this deck is the Light Seer deck, I believe. So that could be significant for somebody. What was that card? Creating 11 could be significant. This fell out. It's almost like a shifting of the blueprint, an expanding of the blueprint. Like what I'm seeing is you have the blueprint for you, right? But now it's expanding your blueprint, not for just your house, but for the neighborhood, for the community around. What you're wanting your environment to look like. And that, I know that looks like that's external, but it's actually internal. Because everything starts in here. Everything starts within. So in order to know what the blueprint is for external, you have to know what the blueprint is for internal, and tweaks and expansions of that need to take place. 2 of Pentacles. Allow yourself to hold, yes, what is real. Like, don't float off into, You've got to stay anchored. You've got to stay grounded in reality while you explore this. But it's like holding reality and possibilities and allowing the exploration of that, so that when we come out of this energy, you've got a better idea of the expansion that you can take. Strength. There's a lot of transits, there's a lot of stuff going on astrologically right now. So there may be a need to make sure that you don't move into an impulsive energy or a dominating energy during this time. Mercury retrograde can be a trickster energy, a tricky energy because of its nature. It comes with miscommunications. It comes with travel issues. It comes with tech issues. Like, there's a lot of disruption that happens with this. I'm also getting Loki being the 13th guest. The number 13 could be significant. And him being the 13th guest at this function and chaos in, like, there's some level of chaos with this energy. So there's a need to stay rooted in your inner strength, or in your inner knowing, while you're expanding while you're exploring the possibilities. The moon in reverse. So it is definitely going to illuminate some things. If you allow yourself internally to explore this energy that we are already stepping into and will be in for the next couple weeks at least, it is going to show you things. So the chaos, the illusions that you encounter, they're not for naught, okay? They're not just because. They are there to illuminate something. They are there to peel back the curtain and show you something, okay? Queen of Swords came in a blocked on top of Strength. So there may be a need to loosen your boundaries, your Queen of Swords in the upright is like clarity, focused, boundaries, cutting through things that are not truth, and cutting it down. Like, we don't want anything that's not truth. But this energy is about illusion in a way of showing you things, okay? So if you stand in a place of that's not possible, that's not reality, then you're going to miss what is trying to be shown to you. So there's a need to allow yourself the freedom. I know Queen of Swords in reverse can be manipulative and conniving and all of that, but that's not what I'm getting with this under Pisces and on top of Strength. I'm getting a need to allow yourself to explore the possibilities, and during this time worry a little bit less about the truth or the actualization of it, because you're not trying to actualize everything right now. You're seeing what mirages come up and what you're being shown by that mirage, okay? And then once the illusionary energy lifts and you've got more clarity with Mercury going direct in the shadow, post-shadow clearing, that's when you will have even more of those aha moments of, oh, okay, that makes sense. This, and putting puzzle pieces. Six of Wands also came in the blocked on top of the Two of Pentacles. You may be juggling things that are blocking or stunting a certain level of success or a certain level of expansion within yourself, because there's this rigid energy around what is fact, what is truth, what is reality, and not allowing the imagination to kick in enough, okay? There's a big difference between being completely floating off in the ethers and not anchored at all and just following stuff that is not something that can be actualized, and a difference between being grounded in reality, grounded in who you are, grounded in what you are, while also allowing your imagination, your spirit, your soul to explore possibilities, okay? You want to stand in that place. You want to stand in a place right now of allowing the vision of possibilities, exploring the illusions, exploring the possibilities so that you can shift that blueprint, so that you can expand that blueprint. And this fell in the blocked as well. 8 of Wands. There's something that's rigid here within how this collective, whoever this is for, with how you are allowing yourself to dream. Maybe feeling like the dream you have for yourself, your life, is too big, so you have to dim it down. You have to make it more reasonable, is what I'm getting. That's slowing things down. These are both blocks. 8 is fast energy. 8 of Wands is fast energy. Blocked, energy's not moving. And 6 of Wands, both Wands, so both energy. Victory, success. Public victory, public success. There's something that you are meant to create, meant to do, meant to expand upon, that you feel like 333 could be significant, that you feel like is, no, that's not for me. Not because, no, you genuinely don't feel called or pulled to that, but because it feels too big for you. It feels pie in the sky. You may have been someone who throughout your life, you had people in your life that told you to stop. They don't want to hear about the pie in the sky ideas, and really stifled the dreaming, stifled the imagination of what could be. And that's what this feels like. And it's blocking some kind of victory, expansion, and movement of energy. What is the moon in reverse? Give me. Well, that was over there. Queen of Wands reversed. Queen of Wands reversed fell on top of Bride in a Cage in reverse and Lilith, your Lilith placement, in reverse. So you may want to look where your Lilith placement is in your natal chart, but I specifically asked for the moon in reverse. So you may have had a fire sign, feminine, or someone who misused their energy knowingly, unknowingly, it doesn't matter, but they may have stifled your energy, stifled your expansion, stifled your creativity. It gives very lack of support. There could have been some ego competition as well, jealousy. Give me more about the Queen of Wands in reverse. Seven of Pentacles. But it fell on top of you, your stuff. It almost feels like what this feels like with confirming the Queen of Wands in reverse and the moon in reverse is you're trying to grow, but your roots are, I don't know what the term is, but your root system has outgrown the pot that you are in. And that can stifle, that can affect the growth of the plant, of whatever it is that the roots are attached to, because they don't have the room. That means that they have a lack of oxygen, probably a lack of soil, nutrients. They have a lack of potentially water if there's no way for it to get through. And it feels like it's being exposed, that this energy, knowingly or unknowingly, was affecting your ability to grow, affecting your ability to put work into you. If you grew up in an environment, and this doesn't have to be a family member or anything like that, it could be something completely outside, but I'm being brought to childhood for a reason, so it may resonate. If you grew up in an environment, or you spent a lot of time in an environment where you were dreaming big and imagining big things, and they essentially snuffed that and was like, no, just settle. Just settle. Pick the safe little option instead of going for your dreams type of energy, that would have stifled you. If they saw things that you were great for, okay, so let's say you were great at art, you were great at drawing, you showed real potential in some form of art, but they didn't nurture that as a child, that is something that would have been stifled, okay? If you're somebody, I know from my childhood, I had family members that would say, oh no, don't get that for Nicole. Don't help Nicole with that, because she's not going to stick with it very long. She'll be on to the next thing. And as a means to save whoever was wanting to help money. Now, to stand up for them a little bit, yes, I moved on from things really quickly. I am ADHD. I hyper focus on things. And once my brain gets the gist of it, then it usually wanders to something else. But I will tell you, if you have a child like that, all of those hyper focuses, they're not just for naught. They're not just gone. Now, today, in my 40s, I'm using all of those things that I hyper focused on. So when you tell somebody, no, don't help them, don't spend money on that, don't nurture that interest, they're not going to stick with it, you're really doing whoever you're saying that about a disservice, because we don't hyper focus on things and gain this information for nothing. It may not be something that the person sticks with for long term or for the rest of their life right then, but it may be something that they come back to. I really got into photography. I use photography concepts now. I was really into drawing, sketching, art. I'm still using a lot of that now. I really got into and was always into the beauty industry. I use that stuff now, even using it with my kiddo, and a lot of those things I'm able to help and teach and explore with my kiddo, because then she's got interest in those of her own. So when they pop up, it's like, oh, I've got knowledge. I know how. Let's go. Let's do. I'll teach. I'll give you. I'll nurture. So you really do a disservice to people when you're like, oh, they're not going to stick with it, don't help them, and turning people away from them, because they may not stick with that long term right now, but that information may be something that is useful later. I can say that the majority of the things that I've ever hyper focused on have come to use later in life. And I'm grateful that I had that hyper focus. I'm grateful that I had that exploring of that topic or that skill, because now that I'm in a place where I have a lot more control and frontal lobe capability, it's all coming into play, and it's very, very useful, very useful. Okay. So if you are someone like that, you may have somebody in your life that was doing that, and there's a need to break out of whatever cage they tried to put you in, whatever mind space that they were projecting or putting onto you for whatever reason. Okay, I'm not saying that these are evil people, and you know, it doesn't have to be that. They could have done it out of their own insecurities. They could have acted this way out of wanting to save you from failure, wanting to save you from pain. There's all kinds of different reasons that people do things outside of nefarious. Okay, now some of you, they did it nefariously because they were jealous. But for the majority, it was just something that they were doing based out of their own insecurities. They wanted you to be safe and stable and settle. Maybe that's what they did. Instead of doing the chasing of dreams, which is unstable and sometimes risky, unreliable, because you don't know if it's going to take off. Where the path where you're settling, that's kind of a guarantee. You know how that's going to work, right? Except now all of that's changing, so I digress. The top of the deck is 9 of Wands, so there's a need to stop putting energy into fighting whatever this is. And at the bottom of the deck is the manipulation. The Magician in reverse. There's a need to stop putting energy into fighting the manipulation. If people want to believe a certain thing and believe that you need to live a certain way, you're allowed to walk away from that. And if you don't want to walk away from that, you've got to figure out how to separate yourself from what they are doing, what they are projecting, so that you don't continue to buy into their manipulations, okay? And again, this does not have to be nefarious, conscious, I want to doom you. It doesn't have to be that at all. But there is a need to liberate yourself. I'm getting Aquarius energy now. Liberate yourself from whatever was exiled, whatever parts of you were shunned, and break out of that cage. And this energy right now with this Mercury going into retrograde in Pisces in the first house is giving you the room to dream big again, to explore illusionary concepts. Know that you are, my Anubis tattoo is itching. Know that you are protected in this transformation, and you are able to go through this transformation. You have reached a place where if you don't dream bigger, you're going to stunt yourself. The two blocks in this is 8 of Wands and 6 of Wands. Victory and moving energy, fast moving energy, right? Those are the blocks. So you are, and they just started itching. Ancient Egypt could be significant. You are protected in this, but a transformation is needed. And this energy right now is giving you prime time to do that. Prime time to dream and visualize and explore. Allow your imagination to run wild. I'm not saying to go and act on all of these imagination dreams that may be surfacing and coming up, okay? That's not what I'm saying. If you have a dream, an imagination, illusion of being an NBA basketball star, and you're short, 5 foot like me, don't go turn your life upside down to try to actualize that right now. Just explore this stuff, all right? And pay attention to your dreams right now, because some of this stuff may be coming through the dream state or through a more liminal magical place where it's coming through signs and things that are a little less right in your face. All right, we done? Yes, last thing I'm getting is get out into nature. I just had animals pop into my head. So get out into nature and stop worrying about your protection. You're protected through this transformation. But if you want to expand, you have to transform. Happy healing.